I am a pessimist. I prefer to think realist, but I do easily get caught up in stress, frustration, and sometimes obsession about the many bad things in the world, big and small. Climate change, our increasingly undemocratic political system, and also smaller and more personal things, like wishing I had not sprained my ankle 10 years ago, because it seems like that's just going to hurt a little bit for the rest of my life. For whatever reason, the stickiest anxieties are often the ones that I can do the least about. I can't actually go back and unsprain an ankle, and I can only be a small piece of the solution towards climate change and a just democracy. So instead, sometimes I just spin in thoughts of what if, of why couldn't the world be different, or someone have done something differently so that we wouldn't face these problems today. In college, I took an existentialist philosophy course. The concept that stuck the most for me was Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of amor fati, or love of fate. First, I will disclaim that this is my pop understanding of one professor's take on a very complicated concept. Love of fate, as I learned it, is kind of like the butterfly effect, that idea that a butterfly flapping its wings halfway across the world sets off a subtle chain reaction, ultimately forming a large storm. As I learned it, love of fate basically says you can't have the good without the bad. You can wish that American democracy was more fair, or that your best friend wasn't always late when you hang out, but you're actually wishing for an entirely different America and an entirely different best friend. You can't change just that one quality. In fact, you're wishing not just for a different best friend or America, but an entirely different world where everything is different because it's all kind of connected. Love of fate basically posits that everything you know is a package so deeply intertwined that if you changed one little piece, dominoes would fall and the whole world would change too. You can choose to love and affirm the fate that you've been given or not, but only in its totality. So if you love your family or your home or the new Taylor Swift album or anything else, then saying that you wished in a different world, a world lacking some sorrow or frustration, is also wishing away those things, wishing for them to be different in ways that you can't imagine. And some people might be in such despair and misfortune that they would want to wish away their fate entirely and roll the dice on a different lot in life. But I think most of us would find ourselves very reluctant to do that. I wouldn't say that I fully ascribe to this belief, and taken too literally, I think it can be disempowering and fatalistic. While the past can't be changed, in the future, we can build a world that keeps what's good and eradicates bad things that are within human control, such as homelessness and oppressive governments. But when I find myself really spiraling, despairing at the enormity of the problems of the world, wishing for something to be different in the past, sometimes remembering amor fati can break me out of that thought loop. Love my fate. Am I glad to be here overall? Am I glad to be who I am? As a strict yes or no question, no yes but allowed. Yes, I am. So I have to accept the challenges and sorrows that come with that, and do my best to make them better going forward. Meanwhile, I try not to lose sight of my good fortunes or to uselessly dwell on sorrows that are beyond my control.